For the moment, we're shifting our attention now to the tragedy that has unfolded in Kerala, once again battling the fury of nature. A massive landslide has struck Wayanad, claiming lives, trapping workers beneath tons of mud and debris and triggering a large-scale rescue operation. The death toll has now climbed to 5, while the search continues for those who are still missing. A red alert remains in force as relentless rains lash the region. The tragedy has also reignited the haunting memories of the devastating 2024 Wayanad landslide, with fresh questions now being raised over whether this was solely a natural disaster or a catastrophe that was worsened by human intervention. Now, the question remains, why does Wayanad remain so vulnerable to the landslides? Experts have pointed to a combination of natural and human-made factors. The district's steep Western Ghats terrain, coupled with intense monsoon, the rainfall that it sees, and weathered laterite soil makes it inherently very, very fragile. And that's the reason why we see so many landslides in Wayanad. Haunting images of 2024 not forgotten, and it is a wound that remains in Wayanad, and now yet again those wounds have been refreshed. So why is it that we see such landslides in Wayanad time and again? It is because it is on the steep Western Ghats. That's the terrain of the region, because of which it makes it very, very risky. Apart from that, it also sees very heavy monsoon. We see heavy rains in majority of the months, and that's one of the reasons why these areas remain very, very vulnerable. There were very dramatic visuals that came in, and because of the weathered laterite and loose soil, it makes the situation even worse. There is deforestation that has taken place as well, and vegetation loss as well, and that has resulted in the situation. Even now, despite multiple violations being flagged time and again previously as well, it's the same old story of quarrying as well as hill cutting that still continues despite the risks that it possesses. And it's the same risks that had also been highlighted back in 2024 when so many lives had been lost. Now, yet again, there are people who are settled in these areas. There are settlements on these vulnerable zones, despite yet again being informed of the same, despite the authorities being well aware that these are vulnerable areas. There are settlements in these regions, and yet again, we see tragedy unfolding. My colleague Imran gets us a ground report on what the situation is like currently.
We are at Mepadi in Kerala in Wayanad district, where you can see that this location where the landslide happened, where the rescue efforts are underway right now, where the 7 people, what the officials was informed, are still trapped under the debris there. This was a road tunnel project which was being carried out, and because of the incessant heavy rains and also the dereliction on the part of the company carrying out the DBL, that resulted in the deaths of 3 workers there. One is from Kerala and 2 are from other states, what the locals are informing. There are rescue work underway still going on, whereas still people are still trapped inside it. There was an urgent meeting called by the Chief Minister regarding this, and in the press conference, the Chief Minister has said that the company responsible for it didn't remove the soil, which was important to be removed there because of the incessant rains, and that could have resulted in the loss of lives and also could have critically engendered a lot of people there. Despite clear warnings, the soil was not removed, and that has resulted in the loss of life now. Now, we have to wait and see whether the government is just passing the buck or will they take any action on that. The company so far, however, said that it was because of the rains this tragedy happened, and they are providing all the necessary efforts to the boat, to the people there on the ground, and to the family members. But the important question is, why wasn't the soil removed, which could have saved the lives of the people there? Now, as we speak, the rescue efforts are still going on. The Chief Minister visiting the site tomorrow. We have to wait and see what further action the Kerala government takes.
And now the spotlight has also turned to the tunnel project at the site of this entire landslide. Some serious questions are being raised over whether excavated soil was left exposed and whether the slopes were also adequately reinforced or not. There are also allegations that warning signs had emerged and before the collapse as well, but yet again all of these signs had been completely ignored. The contractor, Dilip Bilcon Limited, has also firmly denied any wrongdoing. There's an official statement that has been issued going on to say that the project was executed in strict compliance with all engineering safety norms, environmental clearances and statutory regulations. DBL attributed the incident to exceptionally heavy rainfall in Wayanad, saying that it is fully cooperating with the ongoing investigation. Let's get you breaking updates now coming in. An official letter from the Wayanad District Collector has now raised fresh questions over the tunnel project, because this communication directed that the tunnel work be halted temporarily and also called for immediate removal of what it described as unscientifically stacked excavated soil. So this letter flagged the piling of excavated soil as a potential landslide hazard. It warned of a threat to human life. It warned as a threat to property, adding a new dimension to all the questions surrounding the disaster, whether it was a man-made disaster. Because this is an official letter that has come in from the Wayanad District Collector, raising questions over the entire tunnel project. My colleague Imran is joining us on the broadcast with the details. And Imran, unfortunately, Wayanad has seen the fury of nature. But in this case, it raises some questions on whether it was due to human lapses that led to these loss of lives. What are the details of this letter from the District Collector of Wayanad? When was it raised and what were the issues that it raised?
Well, it was raised in 20th June last month, and in fact, it raised a very pertinent question that I already informed the Konkan, the implementation authority, and also the DBL that there is a lot of soil unscientifically excavated lying on the side of the bridge there, and it needs to be removed. Otherwise, it could cause hazard to the people lives and could eventually lead to loss of lives, which eventually happened. And this is a very, very critical letter, because that's the point where the state government is also harping on, saying that it's not our responsibility and it was a job of the DBL to remove the soil. Now the question is, when if the district collector had written that letter and it was not removed, what was the district administration doing? That's one question. And why didn't the private company remove the soil? And if they had done that, then probably the loss of lives which have happened yesterday could have been saved, and so other people who were injured could also have been saved. So the many disaster could have been saved. Whether begs the very question whether this is a man-made disaster, whether landslide happened because of the negligencies of the private company there, and also not a proper implementation follow from the district administration. As we speak, the Chief Minister is likely to visit. We have to wait and see what further action the Kerala government takes.
Okay, all right. So, Imran, the information that you're getting for us is that even as the rescue operations are continuing, the Kerala Chief Minister is all set to visit the disaster-hit Wayanad today. So the Chief Minister will leave Thiruvananthapuram by chopper at 11:30 a.m. He is expected to reach the Meenakshi Brigade landslide site at around 1 p.m. And during this visit, the Chief Minister will review the ongoing rescue and relief operations, also assess the situation on the ground, receive a briefing from the officials who are coordinating the response to the tragedy as well. And Imran, we are told that heavy rains are still continuing in Wayanad. So are the rescue operations still continuing, or is nature or the rainfall continuing to be a challenge in the rescue operations?
Well, one of the reason for the company says that what happened disaster yesterday is because of the heavy rainfall. They claim that 265 mm rainfall was what received, which was unprecedented in the Wayanad region. That's the reason why the landslide happened. But we know, as from the district collector letter, there already 4 warnings had been given, which were ignored and not implemented. Now the rescue efforts until entire last night, the efforts were continuing. Is even now today morning, the rains are there, but the rescue efforts are on. And likely what the NDRF officials are informing us, by today afternoon, all the area will be cleared of the debris, at least for the vehicle movement to happen in that particular area. Whether the missing the workers, it's still no news of that. 9 workers are still undergoing treatment at the Venlock Hospital at Mepadi. But the question is about what the action the Kerala government take will, when clearly the district collector had warned, and the private company did follow through.
Okay, all right, Imran, thank you for getting us that ground update. We will continue coming back to you for those updates of the rescue operations. This afternoon, the Chief Minister is also expected to be in Wayanad. Thank you for joining us. And with that, viewers, it's time for us to slip into a very short break here. We'll be right back with lots more. Stay with us.